These are the champions, the greatest teams unite. Feel the fire burn inside. Oh, we're standing in the light. The champions, always shining bright. The best we rise up to the sky. Together we will stand so tall. Because we're giving it all.
Are the champions, the greatest teams unite. Feel the fire burn inside. Oh, we're standing in the light. The champions, always shining bright. The best we rise up to the sky. Together we will stand so tall. Les grands équipes, we're giving it all.
These are the champions, always shining bright. The best we rise up to the sky. Together we will stand so tall. Les grands équipes, we're giving it all.
We're giving it all, we're giving it all.
Rosseneri, Milan Nation, what's happening? Big 3 points in the Bernabeu versus Don Carlito. All right. Big win today. I wasn't expecting that. On the pregame, I had us winning, actually tying at least 1-1, right? But the team impressed. They came out with fire, with guts. They collectively defended. They were dangerous on the counterattacks, even when they didn't score. Pulisic was extremely dangerous on those counters. Leao, Deo, the back line held up, right, against Vinicius and Mbappe and Bellingham. Let's see who's in the chat. Bow, wow, wow, bow, bow. Yes, sir. Big win today. Big win, 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 win. Big 3 points. So we got about 6 people locked in. All right. What's up, Chris? Someone's let's see what else. See if the chat heats up a little bit, then we'll dive into the show. I'll get to everybody's comments and questions in a bit. All right, so let's dive into it, actually. So, obviously, let's dive into the game itself. 3-1 win, Milan. Chow started things off with the corner kick header. He beat his man to the ball, right? And I had my doubts about Chow playing today, but he does have a good aerial presence, right? He's strong in the air, just like Gabi is and Pavlovic. And like I said, their back line is not that hot. It's not a great back line. Madrid, it's probably the weakest part of their team. And 1-0 Milan. Then we gave up a PK. Emerson Royal, he had a decent game. But on that one play, I think it was like a 2v1 on his side. He turned his back when he was backpedaling. He turned his back. And he tried to make up for that mistake because you never turn your back, right, like that, right? Especially in those close quarters. And he tried to make up for his mistake, like a focus for a split second, and went in for this, Nesta-like tackle inside the box. Didn't quite work. Caught him. PK, Vinicius, and he got Mike. It was a good PK, right? Then Morata got one back in the 39th minute. Nice goal from Morata. And then Tijani in the 73rd. minutes. And that was it. I mean, other than that, Madrid didn't have, they had a couple of chances. Vinicius, besides that, didn't do much today. Bellingham was a shadow today. Even Mbappe, he had a couple good opportunities early on in the game. I said didn't do much at all. And let's look at the stats real quick, and then we'll get into some tactical stuff in a minute. Goals difference. So where are we at? So matter of fact, they did have a lot of shots on goal. They had 23 shots on goal, Madrid, 10 shots on target. We had 14. They had 3 big chances. We had 3 accurate passes. They had 93. We had 88. And let's get into defense. They won 65% of their tackles. We won 69. They had 5 interceptions. We had 2. We had 24 clearances. We had 3, and I'll tell you, they had 3. I'll tell you why we had so many clearances in a minute. Keeper saved. Mike had 9. Lewin had 6. Got a good stop on Leao too. And Mike later on in the game on Diaz's header had a nice save. Duels won. They won 47. We won 34. They won 58% of their ground duels. We won 42. They won the aerial duels, surprisingly, 60% to 40. And let's look at recoveries. Morata he was pretty busy on the defense today. He was backtracking, helping out in defense quite a lot today. Musa had a really great game, in my opinion, one of his best games yet for Milan. He had 5 ball recoveries. Actually, outshined Fofana. Didn't have much today. He was very quiet. Surprising, but Musa, to his credit, stepped up. Didn't see it coming, but every time they were going out to their wings, we were double teaming them. Almost every single time. There were a couple of times where Musa was 1v1 with Vinicius, held his own, out-muscled him, got to the ball first, was able to fend them off, and keep Vinicius from attacking that outside right of the box and driving in like he likes to do. Yeah, Leao was pretty good too. Tajani had a really good game too. I mean, overall, it was a really good game today from Milan. Tell me how you guys feel. How did you guys feel before the game? I know most of us had Milan losing today. I had them tying at best. They played conservatively. They didn't play super aggressive and took chances, which they didn't. But give me your thoughts, Milan Nation. All right, let's see what else is in the chat. Thank God Carlos let us win. He's always a Milan fan at heart. Yeah, I mean, if you want to get into conspiracy theories, Chris, we can get into that. Yeah, I mean, Vinicius took a dive, man, especially with when he was inside the box when Mike was trying to clear the ball out. He pretended he got clipped. Vinicius is a character. And Fadinha, what's up, Fadinha? Guys forgot how bad Real played, and let's just say we play like a team. We deserve the win. Seriously, don't ruin it for us. Just matches in Real don't often happen. Yeah, listen, we got to take this win and appreciate it. I know. Overall, we have been happy with the club, right? We've been happy with the project and things like that nature. But today's a big one, regardless of Madrid's current form, which is not great, right? And domestically or in Champions League, they have their problems. They're missing. They haven't replaced Cruz. That's a big piece of their team. He was there, setting up the tempo, getting those through balls to their wingers. He set up a lot of other offense. Kraus. And the fact that he's out, he retired. They haven't replaced him. Bellingham's not that player. Camavinga's not that player. Even Modric, he's not the same. He's got too many miles on his legs. So they haven't found that replacement yet. Their back line is a little bit long in their tooth. They're experienced, but they're not heavy hitters by any means. So yeah, let's enjoy this win, fellas. Let's get into tactics. Tactics. All right, let me pull this up. Where are you? There it is. let's get into tactics. So the one thing I talked about today was how we're going to set up out of position. We're going to play a mid block, a high line. So it looks like Fonseca. Well, let me take it back because it wasn't Fonseca's plan. So his assistant coach, his name is Paulo Ferreira. So he was his assistant coach at Lille. So the guy Paulo Ferreira, he actually worked under Jose Mourinho for a bit. I don't know exactly what club, but I read somewhere he did work under Jose Mourinho, learned some defensive tactics from Mourinho. So the one thing he picked up over the years, he likes to play a 5-3-2 mid block, which you've seen Conte does, right, against us, Napoli. It worked really well against us. So today that's exactly what we did against Madrid. We sat back at a 5-3-2 mid block. We were very compact. We congested the channels. The minute they got the balls out wide, we were on them like hawks. All right, except for that one play that Emerson messed up on, made a mistake. Overall, they kept their cool. They won their duels today. All right, especially Musa, even Theo on his side as well. But a lot of times they were attacking on that left side, right? They were overloading that side majority of the time. All right, even when Rodrigo came in, he didn't do much, he was kind of ineffective. And they had a really time breaking down that mid block. Right, the five in the back worked great today. So credit to Pablo Ferreira, the assistant coach, for putting that in place. And Fonseca, Ferreira teaching it to the players during the week, getting that game plan in place, and making it work today. So props to him. As much as we want to give the head coach all the credit, and let's get ahead of ourselves. Just because Fonseca is a good coach, he's not an awful coach. But this win doesn't mean he's better than Carlo. Let's not get there yet. All right, let's keep our heads cool, on a level head. So that was the big part, was that 5-3-2 mid block today. All right. Midfielders had a good game too. They did their job. All right, backtracking, helping out the outside channels, double teaming, recovering balls, especially Musa, like I said. He had like 7 recoveries today. Fana had none, as we talked about. And in terms of pressing, we even pressed today. There was no high press. The only time we countered was on the mid block. Anytime we dropped back into our mid block, we counter pressed right away. We did a good job on that and trying to get the ball back and countering. The pivotal space that we talked about between the midfielders and the center backs, back line, was really good too. They weren't too disconnected, so there wasn't much open time and space between those channels for Madrid to take advantage of. So they did have that time. They would be taking shots from outside, uncontested, that we've seen other teams do in the past. But Madrid didn't have those opportunities at all. All right. Most of the shots from outside the box weren't really dangerous at all today. And yeah, other than that, the tactics were return tactics. Like I said, that's about it. The only other highlight I got to talk about was that Musa 1v1 of Vinicius that we said before. I wanted to point out because Musa overall, I've talked about him. He hasn't been the best defender. Good dropping the ball up the field, taking people on. But defensively, he's been shaky, and today he proved me wrong. So good for Musa. Hopefully, he continues it. So we got about 9 people in the chat. Right on. Let's see who else popped in. Anybody else? So we also see we got SB. I think your first time here. Riel played pretty bad. Listen, but you got to give credit. Listen, I've been harder on this team all season. I haven't been hyping up our team at all. I've been probably the biggest critic, myself and some other podcasters too, Milan podcasters. But you got to give credit today to the squad. You got to give credit to the assistant coach Ferreira for putting that mid block 5-3-2 mid block in place over the past week. right? And not playing a high line, not being stubborn and playing a high line against Madrid. And the fact that we scored 3 goals. There were unlucky goals. There were 3 quality goals. So, yeah, they were playing at home. They had all the advantages. They weren't missing in any key players. I mean, Carvajal was out. Okay. Could he have changed the game? I doubt it. But they had all their big players there. Mbappe was there. Vinicius was there. Rodrigo played. Diaz came in. He didn't do much, except for that header that Mike saved near the end of the game. But let's for today, I'm giving credit to the team, which I hardly ever do. So let's mark it today on November 5th. I'm giving credit to the coaching staff and the team for playing well today. All right. There were no bad calls. So I do see, was it a penalty? Hey, Chris, which one are you talking about? Are we talking about the Royale tackle? If you are, yeah, it was a PK from looking at it, and like it didn't even go to VAR. That's what you're talking about. It was a clear PK, in my opinion. We had some discussions about it in some chats. Some people, few people said it was not a PK, but most of us said it was a PK. I mean, we've seen worse calls too, right? We've doubted the officials on that call, but it looked like he missed the ball clearly, and he caught his calf with his cleats, with the bottom of his boots. You know, that's when you don't make those reckless challenges in the box like that. If you, like I said, Emerson made a bad decision, turned his back for that split second when he's backpedaling, and then when he realized what was happening, because it was a 2v1 on his side, he tried to make up for it and try to be heroic and make that slide tackle. He could have done something else. He could have gotten in front of the defender, force him further out on the touchline, something, force him to cross the ball, force him to pass it back out to, for the other person who's creating that depth, his teammate, and force him to maybe swing the ball around to the top of the box or something. But yeah, for me, it was a PK. Ferdinand makes some good points here too. No, that's not the one. Tactic Fonseca was copying Flick's strategy against Real, so I wouldn't call it a genius tactic. So Flick, if I remember Ferdinand, they played a high line, right? I didn't see the whole game, but I saw highlights. And I remember they did catch them offsides, I don't know how many times. That 5-3-2 is more of a resemblance of Conte's, right? And I was like saying before, earlier on, so the guy Ferreira, the assistant coach, is known to play a 5-3-2. When he worked under Mourinho at some point, I don't know exactly when, he learned those tactics from him. So yeah, people copy from each other too. I mean, shit, when Real Madrid last season, they copied Arsenal's defensive schemes against Man City. It happens. But you got to give them credit for breaking out of their standard tactics of playing that high line. You realize that shit wasn't going to fly today. But good point. I don't know if he's copying Flick. I think he was either Ferreira initiated that or they were copying Conte's. What's up, Pete? Thanks, Nicko, for the live. Great to see Milan get a good victory against a top team opponent in CL. I thought we were going to get smacked. I'm glad I got proven wrong today. Yeah, listen, a lot of us got proven wrong. What do we expect? I mean, it's Madrid. They have an all-star cast. It's not the same Madrid as last season. And Mbappe hasn't really taken off yet. He seems to have a hard time with that chemistry with the other players up top. Their midfield is not the same as last season, obviously, for the things I mentioned before. Their back line is not that stacked either, especially missing Carvajal. But regardless, 3 points in the bag. Yeah, I was gonna mention this before too. But Ferdinand beat me to the punch. So obviously they had Benzema, right? They never replaced Benzema. They have a kid, Endrick, who's super young, who played a number 9 position in Brazil. He was at Palmeiras. And he's technically a 9, but the kid's undersized too. The kid's he's got speed, he's got pace. He's really technical on the ball, but he's not even a true number 9 either. And I think that together, the fact that they don't have a true number 9, was beneficial to Chow and Tomori today, because they didn't really have to battle any really physical battles in the middle of the pitch. All right, where we've seen our center back struggle with the past. We struggled with Thuram, we struggled with Lukaku, obviously, on numerous times. So teams with a real physical center back number 9 gives Milan trouble majority of the time. And the fact that Madrid doesn't have that, they're playing with technically just a bunch of wingers up top. That's an advantage for us. We still have today. How many times did you see Chow really have to battle or make any physical challenges today, even Tomori as well? Yep. Who cares? We beat Real anyways. So, and at the Bernabeu. Let's go through the other score lines real quick, and then we'll get into Rosseneri Rumble. Well, I'll drop the link in the chat. You guys can jump on if you want. So let's look at the rest of the games that went down today. So today, PSV gave Girona a smacking, 4-0. So 2 teams that were playing in the next couple of games, Slovan Bratislava against Dinamo Zagreb, 4-1 Zagreb, another smacking. Monaco beat Bologna 1-0. Dortmund, they won to beat Sturm Graz 1-0. Celtic, Red Bulls Leipzig, wow. Celtics won 3-1. Lille, Juve tied. Liverpool beat up on Leverkusen 4-0. Wow. Didn't see that coming. Sporting, they beat Man City 4-1. Today was a lot of high-scoring games today. Nobody wanted to defend today, it seems like, except for the Juve-Lille game and the Bologna-Monaco game, but everything else, 3-1, 4-0. And mañana, Club Brugge, Aston Villa, Shakhtar, Donetsk, Young Boys, Bayern Munich, Benfica. That's an interesting game. Feyenoord, Salzburg. That's a good game as well. I think that's pretty. It's an even match. Red Star Belgrade against Barcelona. Barcelona should be the heavy favorites in that game. And then obviously our Inter Snakes, Interest Fangulo is playing Arsenal tomorrow. PSG, Atletico Madrid. Sparta Prague, Brest, and VfB Stuttgart and at Atlanta. So I think, at Atlanta should be favorite for that one. Atletico Madrid, PSG, man, that's a toss-up. Both teams are not that hot this season. Both have their issues. Arsenal, Inter, that's an interesting match. I want to see how Inter does against Arsenal's back four. They got Timber, they got Saliba. The other center back, I can't remember his name right now. From Brazil, who's paired up with him. Obviously, you got Carlo off the bench sometimes. So their backline's good. Arsenal plays a very defensive-minded game. So I want to see how Inter can adjust to that and how that game plays out tomorrow. So some good matchups tomorrow, boys. And for us, let's look at Milan's next games. So we're currently at 17 points. So we're playing on the 9th, we're playing Cagliari. That should be a win. But more importantly now, this is going to say a lot about Fonseca and the team. Is this just a one-off game, today's performance? Or are we actually going to go on a winning streak? Because if we go on to Calgary and we lose or draw and we play poor, and then we go into Juve on the 23rd and lose that game, just saying it, or tied to, we come up with either 4 points in the next two games or maybe 0 points. This game today means nothing. It's great that we won. I'm extremely happy. It's a great win. And I'm sure a lot of, Milanista out there, are feeling the same way today. I'm sure they're in Milan, the fans out there in Milan, they're extremely happy, probably outside, partying it up, drinking, whatever. But, we got to look forward to these next couple of games. Let's enjoy today's game, win. But if we go into the next two games in Serie A and come out with 2 draws or 0 points, this game actually means nothing in the long run. All right, so let's see what we do. And obviously with 26, we have Slovan Bratislava, who actually lost today. And then we got Empoli on the 30th, and then on December 3rd, we got Sassuolo. So on paper, our next few games, all our 4 games, except for Juve, technically we should win. Technically. But let's see how we end. We get into the Christmas season over here, holiday season. How we go? Can we win 3 or 4 games in a row and close that gap with Napoli and Inter and at Atlanta, or are we going to drop points? So that's a big question mark, right? For Fonseca and the club, and more importantly for management, right? And see if their project actually means anything, because I think at the end of the day, this team they won this game despite what management has done with the club, the choices they made with the players. This win is 100% on the players for their collective effort. When you're collectively playing, collectively defending, like I've talked about 100 times, 100 million times, actually, this is the results you're going to get. So let's touch on that for a second. Then we're going to get into the next segment. I'm actually going to share the link now. Rosseneri Rumble. Ding, ding, ding. Let me copy the link. Put this in the chat. And vamos. Thanks, Chris. Yeah, bring up that number 8 Champions League. Yeah, it's in the bag, fellas. That's today's game. Every other team in the Champions League should be scared of us, because this is our 2000. This team could take on the 2016 any day of the week. I mean, 2017, I should say. And Chow, shit. I mean, according to some fans, he's next coming of a Baresi after today's game. Could have had a good game, but he wasn't challenged at all. So let's cool down those discussions that he's Chow's the next coming of our next great center back. He's good. He had a good game today. Let's see if he can keep it up. Yeah, 100% Fadinho. We need to go forward. Let me go back to this chat. We need more Italian players winning to maintain the 5th spot. Let me ask you guys this question real quick. So January Mercado is coming up, right? Who would you want to add to this team? Would you want to get a right back? If you had one player to sign, one. I don't see us signing more than one player. I could be wrong. So let's focus on one player. What would you rather sign? A right back? And who would that be in Serie A? Or an Italian right back? 2, or a midfielder? or a left back for Theo, or for another forward. Yeah, it was my man of the match today too. My defensive player of the match, Musa. Right now, 100%. He had a really good game today. Let's see. Like I said, I hope the kid could take this this game and build on that, right, over the remaining of the season. But to Fadinho's point, if we get also on point 2, would 5th place be good enough for us as a fan base? That's going to be good enough for Redbird, right? They're going to get in the Champions League, get that extra cash, help able to pay off that loan, right, to Elliott, and to balance their balance sheets. But long term, is that good enough? 5th place this year? For me, it's not. So, like I said, there's the link to the chat. You guys want to hop on? You don't have the cameras on. You can turn them off. I could care less. You guys want to jump on and give me your thoughts on the game? Please do. Yeah, Reach is a good option. Kid from Torino. So I think he got called up from the national team recently too, right? From Spalletti. So I think that being said, in his current form too, and Torino, they're tough to work with, to deal with as well. So that'd be a really good option next to Fofana. Move up Tajani, or stick with that 3 midfield, like a 3-4-3 that we're playing today, or a 3-3, whatever, 3-4-3 like they were playing today. If they stick to that kind of formation, yeah, we can put Ricci, Fofana, and Musa, or Tajani, and have Musa come off the bench. Or if we're going back to the 4-2-3-1, Pulisic in the cam, and then plug Reach next to Fofana. No, I'm sorry, Tajani in the cam. You don't want to lose that, and keep Pulisic on the right. But I think Reach is going to be overpriced, and I don't see management opening up their wallets and paying for Ricci. More names, fellas. Come on. Coyote's out there. He's a possibility. Right back. Parisi to vice Theo as well. That'd be, because Theo, Christ, that guy needs a break, man. And who do we have to back him up? Tereshano's not the answer. Jimenez, he's not getting enough minutes to earn that spot yet. We haven't seen enough out of him either. Yeah, no worry, Pete. That's cool. Next time. Yeah, left back too. So for me, what I'd like, because I'm not sold on Emerson yet at all. He had a decent game today, but that was just one game. Long term, he's not sustainable in that position. Hold on. I wouldn't mind Coyote, that we talked about before. He'd be a good option. He knows Serie A. He's an Italian player too, to boot. I mean, I would hate to lose him to another EPL team, or to another, or a team like Juve or something like that, to one of our competitors, right? So I'd want him. And I think he's still practically pretty affordable. He hasn't made the national team on a regular basis, so he's still on at a good price range for us. And he plays he's not getting a lot of minutes with his current team. He was last season, Fiorentina, but I guess when you coach things happen sometimes when you get a new coach. They favor other players, so he's not getting a ton of burn on the field. But he's super talented. I know one EPL team were looking at him as well to pair him up with the Doji, who plays in the EPL. I wouldn't want to lose him to EPL, obviously. Like I said, I'd want to keep him within Italy. So that's one player that I'd like to get is Coyote. That'd probably be the most viable option. Do I think Milan's going to go after Italian players? I don't know. And another one, too, I wouldn't mind. So we talked about Ricci as well. Ricci would be good, but I think he's out of our price range. And even Parisi, too, for a left back. I mean, he's more of a wing back player. He wouldn't be a bad vice for Deo. And he knows Serie A, obviously, right? It's like, I think it'd be a good fit. And he's attack minded as well. So he kind of fits that similar profile like Deo. And the other one, too, I wouldn't mind another center back. Honestly. There's a kid out of Bologna, Lucumi. Really nice. He plays for the Colombian national team. Really nice, solid center back. He's an upgrade over Chow, in my opinion. Because I don't see Pavlovic working out, man. I don't know. I think that was a wasteful signing. I think we're going to end up loaning that kid out. And if Chow goes back to where he was before as well, like last season, he goes back on that downtrend, right? Starts making those mental mistakes. Over the period of time, I don't see him sticking around either. So either one of them is going to maybe eventually go. Oh, Carmelo, what's happening? Great performance, great win. Yeah, listen. The team deserved it. Like we said in the chat, Carmelo, they played as a unit. They played like a pack of hungry wolves. They wanted that win today. You could see it in their faces, the way they moved, the way they aggressively countered, winning balls, defending. Just like the old Milan teams that we fell in love with. They were defending like those teams today. Now the big question is, like I said, can they continue it? They got some big matchups in Serie A. On paper, we should win them. All right, the Juve game is probably the most like the toughest match by far on paper. If we can go and win 2 out of the next 5 games, hey, this game means everything then. If we go back to winning 1, losing 2, winning 1, losing 2, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, this game means nada. Oh, Kiko, I think your first time. I think I saw you once before in the chat. What's happening, Kiko? Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully moving forward, Leao starts all games. Also, I've been hearing rumors might move in for Osim with Napoli. Yeah, I heard that too, but man, he's super expensive. I mean, we would have to get rid of Jovic. And he's going to take minutes away from Kamada too. I mean, Kamada, he's the future of the team. I wouldn't want to take away minutes from him. So it's a big name, be a huge signing for us, but I think he's too much. I can't imagine we can afford him. But that's just me personally. Let's see what happens. Yeah, Tavares is good too. Yeah, he had a good game. Everybody, I know we have a Lazio fan in one of our chats. He talks about Tavares all the time. We need to get rid of RLSC. Yeah, I think we're all in agreement on this one, 100%. He came in late in today's game. I'm not sure why I don't know what the purpose of. He can't slow down the game, right? That's what you need to put just to kill the game off. Somebody to control the tempo of the game a little bit and has more than one speed when he has the ball, because or else he just goes forward, like a runaway train. He had that one good run, but we didn't need that at that point. And I'd be fine just getting rid of him, not even loaning him out, just selling him. Sell him back to the EPL, to some mid-level club. He can do his thing out there. That's that his way he plays the game, that those tactics in the EPL fits his style. I mean, we are always and always Madrid's kryptonite. Yeah, 100%. I think head to head, we were, 2-2 with them going into today's game. And they're not the same Madrid. Last year, if they had Kraus and they had, even the Benzema of old, they would have been a harder team to beat today. You can always bring Maldini back. Yeah. I mean, he had a really good game. He was extremely dangerous against Monza the other day. He's their best player. I'd like to see him back in Milan. He's definitely in place for a big move eventually, that kid. And I hope he comes back home. But let's see. I know Juve's on his radar. Juve's looking at him, a couple other teams. So hopefully he doesn't go to any of those Juve, and especially he doesn't go to Inter. Inter probably offer him a ton, but I can't imagine Maldini taking that offer. I can't. But Juve, I could see him going to Juve. It's a possibility. That'd be an attractive project for him too, right? To play on the Mota. Yeah, 100%. I get you, man. But so we currently have Kamada, all right? We have Abraham, and we have Morata. So that's 3. And we could fit in. And we have Jovic too. So we got to get rid of Jovic. Jovic's got to go. And what really pisses me off, the fact that they gave him the number 9 jersey, which just makes no sense at all. And what has he done for us this season? Nothing at all. Nada. He's been flying back and forth to Serbia. But yeah, 100% Fadinho. It would be good. And I think it'd be good for Kamada's development too, to have a name like him to mentor him as well. And Morata to have, a couple of guys that have been around the game for a long time, to mentor the kid and protect him, make sure he's doing the right thing, off the field and on the field as well, because that kid's the future. Hold on. You can afford them. Yeah, 100%. Exactly. Well, let's see what happens. I have no idea what Jerry's got in his. Maybe he'll surprise us for Christmas. Yeah, at that land, that'd be a good project for him too. Shit. Working under Gasparini, he would unleash Maldini, man. I could see him, unleashing into an extremely dangerous player at Atlanta with that system that they got going on, and give him some of that Gasparini juice. Yeah, so he's definitely on loan. Yeah, I mean, good point on that one. I forgot about it. He's on a loan, and Jovic will be sold. Yeah, listen, if that Jovic gets sold, I don't know who's even willing to get him to take him off our hands. We'll see during January or the summertime. Yeah, Abraham, I wouldn't mind not bringing him back. If we can definitely sign Osman, that's a big if. And I'll eat my words. I'll apologize I'll never apologize to Redbird, but to the other fans out there, Milanista, that think we're going to get him, I'm saying we won't. But if we do, I'll take it all back. You can cook me if you want. I could care less. All right, fellas. So if there's nothing else, if anybody wants to jump on, we're about 44 minutes in. We've got 11 people locked in. We went over today's game. We went over the tactics. We used, that low block 5-3-2, which kind of surprised myself. I didn't expect that today. Went over the rest of the other Champions League matches. We went over the next 5 games in Serie A as well. So we're looking good. let's see. But more importantly, let's see what happens in the next couple of games. Like I said, I'll close this pod by saying, if we go into the next few games and we end up just winning 1 or 2 games out of the next 5 games, this big win over Madrid means nothing to me. But let's enjoy today. Let's enjoy for the next few days. You know, and let's see what happens. We'll see what happens next. Milan should hold the number 9 for Kamada and give it to him once. Yeah, 1,000%. I'm with that. Yeah, so I said it 100. I've said it with Nathan as well, on previous pods as well. I think with him, Musa has the right tools. He's a physical. He has got that low center of gravity, right? He's a muscular kid. We saw that when he defended Vinicius late in the game, right? Today. He just needs to have proper direction, like I said, somebody to mentor him, either his coach, which we've seen good coaches do in the past, mentor players, turn them into good players, into great players, just like Klopp has done in the past, right? With Trent Alexander and other coaches in the past with certain players, they've done that. They've taken certain players under their wing and turned into really good players or even great players. That's a possibility. Or a teammate. Somebody plays a similar position like him that could take him under his wing and show him the ropes. All right? So, yeah, let's see if he can continue his streak. If he can continue playing the way he played today, like more consistent, streak, then I want to keep him. But if he falls back and starts being out of position again, he's not in the right place, things like that, which we've seen in the past from Musa, I would be okay with not selling him. I don't want to sell the kid, but definitely loan him out. Well, I don't see him leaving it. Technically, we still have him. He did extend his contract, right? So I think we can keep him. But if we don't, it is what it is. I'd hate to lose I would hate to lose Liao. But that's a big if. I don't know. But I think for now we can hold on to him for now. That's right, Pete. All right, fellas. I'm gonna cut this short today. All right, enjoy these 3 points in the bag. Big win today for Milan. All right, it's all about this badge. Forza Milan. All right, thanks everyone for locking in, keeping the chat going. It's always good to see everyone. Quick shout out to Pete, Kiko, Santos 819, Carmelo, Fadinho. Who else? Let's go up the chat. Renee. Oh, Adrian Gibson. Didn't see you there. I think you're first time. I haven't seen you before. Thanks for locking into the show, Adrian. If you haven't done so, Adrian, anybody else who's first time to the show, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and obviously hit the like button and watch our previous pods as well. Who else? Chris, as always, Forza Soccer Chris. Who else? Let's make sure we don't forget anybody. SB. All right. Didn't see you there. Couldn't believe how we dictated Madrid today. Yeah, me too. I'm telling because they're missing Kraus. Cruz was a big part of that midfield. I think I got everybody. Yeah, that's it. All right, fellas. Thanks again. All right. Enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy the games tomorrow. Let's hope Inter crying tomorrow. Hope they lose. Always. Those fucking snakes. Hope they lose tomorrow. Can celebrate even more this week if Inter goes down hard. Other than that, thanks again, and I'll see you soon. All right, take it easy. Always Forza Milan.
From the San Siro nights to the red and black pride, Milanistas always keep that fire alive. But Red Bird don't get it, they think it's a brand. Not the passion we carry, not the legacy plan. Chocolate kids, what they know about us. The Yankee collapse is disrespect we discuss. Can't you see Red Bird, what Milan means to me? It's more than just a club, it's a history. They took away the soul, but we won't let it die. Milanismo's forever, it's how we ride it by. No Italian core, no pride in the crest. Players brought in that don't know our best. Where's the fire, where's the Scudetto chase? They try to rebrand us, but they can't replace. AC Milan's heart is deep-rooted and strong. Milanista stand tall, here where we belong. Can't you see Red Bird, what Milan means to me? It's more than just a club, it's a history. They took away the soul, but we won't let it die. Milanismo's forever, it's how we ride it by. No Italian core, no pride in the crest. Players brought in that don't know our best. Where's the fire, where's the Scudetto chase? They try to rebrand us, but they can't replace. AC Milan's heart is deep-rooted and strong. Milanista stand tall, here where we belong. Can't you see Red Bird, what Milan means to me? It's more than just a club, it's a history. They took away the soul, but we won't let it die. Milanismo's forever, it's how we ride it by. No Italian core, no pride in the crest. Players brought in that don't know our best. Where's the fire, where's the Scudetto chase? They try to rebrand us, but they can't replace. AC Milan's heart is deep-rooted and strong. Milanista stand tall, here where we belong. Here where we belong. No Italian core, no pride in the crest. Players brought in that don't know our best. Where's the fire, where's the Scudetto chase? They try to rebrand us, but they can't replace. AC Milan's heart is deep-rooted and strong. Milanista stand tall, here where we belong. Here where we belong. Ooh. No Italian core, no pride in the crest. Players brought in that don't know our best. Where's the fire, where's the Scudetto chase? They try to rebrand us, but they can't replace. AC Milan's heart is deep-rooted and strong. Milanista stand tall, here where we belong. Here where we belong. Here where we belong.